works and the seed is viable. This is super sweet. It's really quite stable. So all I did was put some nails along the top where I could, one or two down a little bit where I could fit the gun in. Since they're spreading out like this and it's a curve, there should be like a gap at the top and tight at the bottom technically. And look how stable it is. You know, it's bouncing a little bit, but that's not going anywhere. I couldn't even pull this over. That's amazing because of the curve and the lean, and then it's nailed. It's just like locked in there. You could do 3 layers, make it even more stable wall. A lip here, you could actually stack them twice as high if you got a good lean on it. I don't see why not. A bit more pieces of wood, and then bring the bank down, and then some, you know, growing soil on the last foot. Yeah, you could use cheap common nails, not galvanized. Screws snap unless they're timber grade screws, and I wouldn't spend the money on that, so just common nails with a nail gun. Sure, you could do it by hand, but it's so much faster with a nail gun. Putting more wood in there kind of helps the structure too, so there's not as much pressure against the wall. Full of wood under here, back, and same with this one. All right, so I got a lot of wood chips on here that I don't want to get mixed in, so I pulled most of them off to the side. I'm gonna pull up the soil more towards the pallets, and then you know, put the mulch back over top, and the pathway is gonna be right where the mulch is now. Doesn't look as nice as if it had, you know, full boards. Just makes more of a wall, but once the vines or whatever on there, the brambles or plants are in front, it'll fill in, but it's just easier. Even tomatoes, right? So I can loop them in there and or tie them on. There. One thing I could have done is put a layer of maybe landscape fabric in between the 2 pallets. That way, you see, weeds are going to grow out of there. Next day here, a few centimeters of snow, and it doesn't look like it's going to be stopping. It is supposed to warm up though, and it should melt off pretty soon here. But I don't think I'm going to be working on the Hugel today. Instead, I'm going to go up to the lighthouse. I got some new LED lights I'm going to install and start some more seedlings, and we'll just take a look at the onions and everything that's up. Hello. Hello. Oh, look at the water. All right, so this is what's growing on here in my seedling room. All the onions, Kelsey, candy, Scalagno banana, Ed's red, shallots. First year in quite some time doing the shallots. And all kinds, Rosa di Milano, Rosa di Inverno, more scalagno, more Milano, and then keeping all these on at 12 hours light. So I'm trying to black out my other seedlings that I'm running on at 16. Tomatoes, peppers, broccoli and cauliflower, and cabbages, and a bunch of things like that. Celery. I got these guys here that were transplants, the thinnings out of all my other started trays. Planted 2 in each one right at the edge, so just gives them a little bit more space to get going. These scalagno banana shallots are looking really quite good. They're multiple sowed. I'm doing them in clusters of 3 and 4. You know they're too long when they start flopping over. If scissors aren't sharp, you can pull them right out. I've had that happen a number of times. So, oh yeah, look at these beauties. These are candy. They're a hybrid. The bottom feeding these guys. Some early China Express when I grow in the greenhouse. Amazing cauliflower. And some Veronica, blue and white. So far, it doesn't seem like they're all that bright, really. I'm probably gonna like the T8s better, most likely. I mean, more power. These old T5 sunblasters just seem so much brighter. I mean, I've heard like the LEDs, it's more usable light or something like this, but let's see, I've got 4 runs on there. Only 3 on here, and it just seems so much brighter. Yeah, well, we'll give them a go. All right, little buddies, you're gonna move over here. I know you like the 4 lights. I'll pour some of these off. Since there's a few fungus gnats around, I'm gonna try vacuuming. I just wanna clean them up a bit. I wanna clean the tops off and the cuttings. Yeah, that kind of works. I was just tipping them and blowing them off outside. That'll do the job there. Now I can just pull this over top, and that's definitely way better. Now these guys are on 16, and I've got all this space now to fill up. The snow has melted again a couple days later. Gonna get back at doing that project there. But also, I've got some carrots and potatoes to harvest in these beds here. Get them before they start sprouting up, at least the carrots anyways. They get a little woody and tough if you leave them too long. Probably have about another month. It's the first time I've let potatoes go the whole winter in the bed. The volunteers are always the best and they start growing again, but I don't want this bed to actually start growing again. Here's a good one. Yeah, kind of a mix here. That's a beauty. Oh, looks pretty good though. Holy smokes. Sometimes they'll be kind of rotty in the middle if they're huge like that. Nice spring harvest right there. Saturday, March 29th. Getting back at this project here. Gonna do a little bit more filling in, try to even this out. And I got my straw today, just now. And so I'm gonna think about how I'm gonna start building up enriched bed here. Might lay some straw down first, put some earth over top, and then I gotta look into getting some manure or topsoil or something rather. And there's some fun, beautiful things I wanna show you in the garden. So I was just weeding here the other day, and look at what we got. This is the first year it's come back. And so I've been really wanting to save seed. That's new growth there, so yay. I'm gonna have celery seed. I think a bunch of them are gonna come back. Lettuce, stalk, lettuce seed. That's so wonderful. It seeds pretty thick. It's kind of good to like spread it around a little bit. It's kind of hard to thin actually, but kind of just gotta take out big chunks like so. Just leave. Oh, right along the edge here. I just weeded right here. Let's do that. Wow, I can see such good seed coming out of here. That's so sweet. I don't think I want to put straw because of slugs. Let's do that.
Really doesn't need much over top. They just sprout on their own, pretty much just scattered on the surface. Bear! Oh my gosh! You're laying on top of my hardy hibiscus, buddy. Oh, you're right beside it. Oh, good. How's it going up here? How's it going? How's it going?
Blueberry crescent bed here and various other specimens. This is a beautiful oriental dark red lily. I left it to go to seed. I'm going to start these in the lighthouse. Some carrot seed here as well. And I'm pleased to see my salad Bernays came back. Oh, and under the Fuji tree here, I see a potato, a green one. Oh, actually will be a good one to grow. Beauty. And a purple one. I love growing potatoes under fruit trees. Look at that. Whoa, look at the color. Oh my, wow, there's 3 different varieties in here. These kind, they are pink on the inside, really sweet. They're all over. I'm sure I'll miss some and they'll just come up again. Strawberries are just emerging. It's a white perennial poppy. I might as well plant this greenie back in here. There you go, buddy. Thank you for being a host of the potatoes, Apple. Monday, March 31st, rain and a little bit of sun's trying to come through. We're gonna go up to the seed house and start some more seeds now because it's a good day, good 2 days for starting above ground crops. Whoa, getting long. We gotta do a trimming. It's nice the LEDs don't get nearly as hot, so if they're touching the light, they don't get burned, really. Oh yeah, after that one good fish feeding, real nice and green, new growth, and they're definitely getting fatter. Time for another haircut, beautifuls. And a little fish juice for the bottom. Yeah, look at that. For the edibles salad. Getting the pond going. It's always a bit orange here. I'll just run it on full for a few minutes. Hey, Gumboot. All right, planting some seeds, some flowers, and some new chili peppers, and some more tangle celery because my other trays only a little bit came up around the edges. I think it was too hot in here when I had the plastic down, cutting the light out for my onions, and I think they cooked. These are those beautiful oriental perennial lilies. Wow, it's pretty thin seed. There's hybrid chili peppers in the end here. What are you doing, Gumboot? You're not supposed to be on the shelves, remember? A few years ago I caught him in here and he was sleeping on top of bigger domes with plants and it was supporting him. Little rascal. Okay, you go out now. Just cleaning up the little spring greenhouse here, dumping all the buckets out. And yeah, cleaning it up, getting it buttoned up in here for bringing my onions out. Washed it down and I'm just mining the pathways again. Had a lot of straw down here. Yeah, so I'm scraping the soil up, putting it in the wheelbarrow and gonna take it to the new Hugel where I need growing soil. I gotta get a wheelbarrow access up these terraces, I'm realizing. So this is just kind of like the underneath part of the bed, getting that bit of peat moss and perlite and a little bit of garden soil in there is just conditioning the underbed part here, keep it from going to hard pack again. A bunch of straw and then some garden soil on top. Okay, I'm set to move some loganberries over to the Hugelkultur Terrace area. So they're coming out of the food forest, as well as I've got some next to my raspberries. So these loganberries can get so long. I just went to grab it and it's just like, oh, it's way over by my peach tree. Hopefully there's some roots somewhere. Oh, the tip's buried right here. Sweet, okay, that's exactly what I want to happen. Yes, look at that. I've tried burying the runners because they're so long and they take forever to root. Oh no, it's broken there. It's okay, it's got roots there. Hope some more are rooting. Wow, they are. See, that's what I thought. They would be way more vigorous rooters, but from my experience so far, they haven't been, but they are rooting on the tips. Look at that. Because the blackberries, like the first year I got them, I had like so many more like instantly, but the Logans seem to be way less vigorous that way, but good environment here. Look at that, sweet. So they were just like climbing all over the apple here. Oh, look at seed. This is stinging nettle here actually. Where are you? All the way over there. Tracing Logan runners into the swale. That's not rooting, that one. You're rooting somewhere along here? Yes. I got them going this way too. Oh, it's over where I was. It's just like 20 feet away and they're just rooting into the water there. Makes me so happy and excited. They're so neat because the tips plant and then they like reverse. Cut them off about maybe 2 foot and then try to root a bunch of them. Just break the clumps up and space them out. All right, managed to get 5 little clumps. Yeah, it's kind of like almost one root at the base and then multiple stalks. So the best way to propagate them is by their tips. All these pieces here I'm gonna try to root. Let's go over this way. I've got a few more Logans here. These are the first ones I put in. Kind of died out here. It's too shaded over here. The sun comes through the trees there, but not much. So some of these I can divide. An example of a sucker, which I find is kind of rare with the Logans, unless I may have buried that. All right, to get these guys kicking off, I'm gonna add some organic 464 sustained fertilizer. Now I just need to go around and spread the roots out and tuck them in. I'm going to interplant between these. I was thinking tomato. I'm gonna be adding a bunch of mulch on top too. Oop. These guys get so long, as I was showing you, so the idea is just to like trail them along horizontal. They're about 20 bales each, somewhere in that range. This is Timothy straw, so it's supposed to be non-sprayed perennial straw. Slightly cheaper option than a whole bunch of bales. Still works out to be about 10 bucks a bale, somewhere in that range. Because they cut all the seed heads off of straw. I was just putting this down and oh my god, look at this amount of seed, right? I think so. Oh, I'm in for fun. I don't really want to collect cardboard. Shoot. That's a lot of seed, looks like. This is a perennial grass, supposedly. But we'll just keep doing layers, potentially. Just gotta weed it. Don't have too much choice. I'm adding some 464 stain organic fertilizer. It's kind of a slow release with the nitrogen there, but it's all organic. I think it's like turkey based, and just adding a little sulfur at the same time. My water is also very high. It's like, well, it's neutral. It's 7.2. It's hard water. So this whole row is very green. It's just a few that I've been having a little trouble with. And so I was gonna put some sulfur on those, but since I'm feeding these, good idea to add a little sulfur in with your feed. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I'm doing just a little prune. If I see anything that's there's no new growth on it, that can come out. This lettuce seeds resting on the blueberry bushes here, and then reseeded in the spring, so there's gonna be lettuces coming up all over. So this bed of blueberries right here, these 4, they haven't really greened up yet, or they got more and more yellow. So do need to adjust the soil. That's what started me doing the sulfur here. Oh, there's a big carrot. I put that one back in, self-seeded here, and then I put it back in so that it would seed again. Although it's probably making the ground more sweet, if anything, because it likes you know, like 6.5 to even 7 carrots, like a little sweeter soil or more neutral. Oh, the lettuce seed. Okay, buddies, I hope that works. It doesn't look like there's much budding on this one at all. Even though it's like all wood chip soil, maybe just back off with growing so many sweet-loving plants around them. Some pine needles, ideally. All right, I'm just getting some soil in this pot here. Peat moss or coir or something when you're doing pots. Otherwise it can be detrimental. It shouldn't matter which direction you actually stick these in, because they like to root on the tips. I'm just gonna use the ones that look healthy. Yeah. I want to get them pretty much to the bottom, so they're sitting in water. I think they're gonna like that. On a nice deep container, more chances of them rooting because the roots should come out like a node area. Okay, to get going right here, they really liked just rooting right in the water there, so I'm not going to be shy about giving them water. So I'm digging holes for tomatoes. Gonna get that fertilizer in there. It's good that it sits for a little while. Look at that. Ridiculous amount of seed. So there, a little bit of wood chip kind of got mixed a little bit. We'll just have to add some extra nitrogen. I got 3 of these really heavy duty pallets. I think they're vehicle pallets. I think they're fir, but they're also waterlogged, so they were weighing at least 100 pounds. So I had to knock 2 layers off of each one. They are going up on the top there. I had them kicking around, had a big water tank on them, and they were just soaking up water. I'm gonna do the bottom too, see how many boards I have. Getting there. I do need a few more for the bottom here. I'm gonna look up my house. I must have something up there that I can use to fill in here. Otherwise, I've got some 2x4 I could start doing. Or 1x is nice though, because it'll bend. The real long ones, actually, you can't get both curves very well. They'll kind of peak out at the tips more than the middle, right? Because you got a lean and a curve. I'm super happy to be cleaning up and building these walls. Definitely going through quite a few nails, and I just have the galvanized pretty much. Yeah, there's a few bucks in nails. It's my birthday and we're moving out all the onions to the greenhouse. Time to go out to the greenhouse, little buddies. In here because it's a little chilly. It says it's like 4 or 5 degrees out, but it feels kind of cooler. All right, so I'm finding places that have soil, extra soil, or beds that I no longer want or need, and I'm bringing it over to the terrace garden where the loganberries were. This garden bed here, I didn't know it went so deep. I was dumping some like peat moss and different things here over the years to try to like fill it in, just because it was a bit of a slope, but it turns out to be an endless pit of garden soil. And it's sweet. I've taken like 8 bags out of here or more, and I keep scraping up and going deeper. I'll just refill this area with some stuff that's not any good, because this isn't going to be garden anymore here. So I've been lugging those bags of soil up there. It's quite a workout. Get on the legs. Straw is going to go down first, and then soil on top. Here I need to kind of condition the bottom. I may just dump a couple bags here, dig it in, pick the rocks out, and then the straw is going on, and then more soil. I think I have some more places for sure that I can collect soil. So keep doing it in stages. Check these plants out. Lots of things. These napas are going to go directly planted right into the greenhouse. Cabbages, peppers finally took off there. Tomatoes are still manageable, but got to get them transplanted today. They're still stocky enough. Eggplants and broccoli and cauliflower. Here, the peppers are looking good. Lots of things up, like zinnias and lettuce and marigolds and morning glories, some straw flowers and basil back there. Still stacked up a few because they're just probably tomorrow they'll pop the rest of them. Start with these guys, some broccolis. All right, nice big mix made up there. Premium cauliflower variety is called Amazing. some of these will be coming out, and I'll probably be able to sow something else in here, some greens or something later on in the summer. That works great. I haven't used these for cold crop before. A little extra protection, and it's going to hold the greenhouse plastic out. Yeah, it's raining out. Oh, this is so sweet. Loving it. Just so tickety-boo. Holding the plastic out there nicely. Gumboot can still get in there, but he shouldn't harm them if he lays in between. This will come up when it gets too warm out for him. I think I'm going to try to sneak a line of cucumber, maybe picklers, along the edge here to climb up the trellis in a few days or a week. I do heat it in here. Just transitioning for my onions. You know, they can take quite a bit of coolness. They're going to go outside really soon during the night. It's on a timer, just because they're still adjusting these onions. So these will come out of here pretty soon, and then I'll put new plants in. I'm going to start direct planting some more things. Actually, I have Napa cabbage that I was going to plant in here, but no time today, maybe tomorrow. Yay, found a couple loads like this. So I don't want to let my compost dry out, especially if it's splashed up here on the wall like so. I'm going to dig it in, and this is a good opportunity to add some fertilizer as well, some organic bone meal and organic alfalfa. Best to get the organic alfalfa because it could be and often is genetically engineered. It will sit in there for 3 to 4 weeks before I plant tomatoes and just break down. Alfalfa is so great because it's kind of more of a soil builder as well. Really feeds microbes, and it's gentle on the soil. It's good to bury your asparagus each year. That's the method I am doing, filling a bit more, but it is pretty thick here, so I'm going to use some of it. So I added some more compost and some alfalfa and dug that in this furrow here. I think I'm going to add any other fertilizers when I plant so that I'm not, wasting too much fertilizer or just using a lot of it. On this side, we got the individual holes. Nice line of really nice compost, actually. I'm going to add some garden soil on top there right now. check the depth of this. So I've got quite a bit of straw underneath this compost and garden soil. So yeah, I've got a good almost 8 inches. I mean, it's going to settle a bit. And then the straw, which adds aeration. And then underneath we have the conditioned native ground. Some more mulch on top would be good because it is suspended with the straw underneath, and so probably dry out pretty quick. Now we're going back up here, gonna move some rock and do some more digging. All right, you can see the potential of this terrace here. I think I'm gonna leave this larch tree. Pussy willow tree. I might just coppice it, prune it down, keep it pruned. Be good to grow a grape on potentially or something. You bring the bees as well. I've cut it pretty much the shape I want, and this one is like flaring out like that. Same with the top one here that I will continue later. Take some of these trees out. It flares out. I hope to do a few squash mounds potentially this year, so I'll probably clean this up and just get it prepped for the pallets. I've already got the wood chips down, a couple of grapes in. And this is a apricot, just gonna bloom. Peach, right. I've been dumping compost in right there. I got a lilac and a Hugelkultur. I got some perennials around in here. And another apricot. She's gonna bloom. She does need a prune, but I'm going easy on my trees now because a couple of them died. I have 2 hardy hibiscus right here and some salad brunnee and a couple other things in there. It's a dwarf honeycrisp apple. I have some mulberry clones here and a licorice bush. Big grape. Hens and chicks, those are new, and thyme and rose campion, and that's a black currant. All kinds of things in here. Big blueberry, fir bark there, just making a barrier between the clover grass and my garlic bed. Strawberries and asparagus planted last summer. A line of cauliflower or broccoli. Tomatoes in between the loganberries. Need to work on these steps here for sure. And I've yet to decide what I'm going to put right here. Super stoked about this year. All the growing potential. Keep your heart inspired. We'll see you on the next one.